Hi, I'm Jack. I'm a second year degree apprentice with STFC, and I'm going to help you with the process of prepping, finding, applying, and interviewing for degree apprenticeships. In this video, I'll be looking at what you can do in year 12 to start preparing for and applying for degree apprenticeships. Apprenticeships are competitive, so I'd really recommend starting to think now about what you can do to give yourself the best chance later on. You can start researching degree apprenticeships, thinking about if they are what's right for you. My next video will look at the pros and cons of them compared to university. You can also think about what companies you might be interested in applying to and do some research on who offers degree apprenticeships. But most importantly, I'd suggest you start thinking about what you're going to put in your CV and what you're going to talk about at interview. If you have good GCSE grades and good predicted A-level grades, those things are probably going to really help you, but they don't fill out a CV and they won't give you much to talk about in an interview. So the first thing I'd recommend is take advantage of any relevant lunchtime or after-school clubs you can attend. My school joined in with the CANSAT project run by the European Space Agency, which involved launching a 3D printed satellite prototype into the air and taking some data measurements. To be honest, it actually ended up having a number of issues and was a bit of a disaster in some ways, but it gave me something to put on my CV and a lot to talk about, particularly in relation to things like working as a team and dealing with things going wrong. I'd also really recommend doing an EPQ if there's an option at your school. It's a great way to demonstrate your interest in a particular subject and look at it in greater depth than you usually do. It's also quite useful when I was asked at an interview to talk about time I'd done some research or to talk about a project I was proud of. I have a separate series on doing an EPQ, so check that out if you want to find out more. Another really good thing to have on your CV is a part-time job. Even if it isn't that relevant to the apprenticeship you want, you can describe all the soft skills it requires, like communication skills, teamworking, and timekeeping. Volunteering is also great, especially if it's relevant. I helped out with the Year 9 school computer club, for example. If you can get some relative work experience or work shadowing, that's great, although not always easy unless you know someone. I was able to do work shadowing at the company my dad works for, and also did work experience with the Science Technology Facilities Council, which is now where I'm now doing my apprenticeship. STFC offer online and in-person work experience opportunities in lots of different departments, so definitely worth checking out. I'll put in the links below. Another thing I'd recommend doing are some free online courses that are relevant to the apprenticeship that you're interested in. I did quite a few that related to my interest in programming, such as the Unity Junior Programmer course, and also put some on my CV that I'd done for my Computer Science NEA. I have another series on writing a Computer Science NEA if that is something you're doing and want to check it out. I'd really recommend having some of your own projects. Now with software engineering, this is pretty easy. I had some games I'd made, a website, an app, and a GitHub account to store all these things on and show development. I also took my mobile phone to interviews and then would show them examples or screenshots of different things I'd made and talk about them. This really helped my enthusiasm come across and made the interview a bit more interesting as I had things to show and it was something I felt really confident talking about. Finally, if you're able to find any kind of leadership role at a sports club, for example, then that can demonstrate a number of soft skills and definitely going to look good on a CV. Duke of Edinburgh, particularly if you've got the gold one, maths competitions or hackathons, there are a lot of things you can try to do, but don't try to do them all. Remember your A-levels are important too. Just think about what you can fit in around them to make yourself look more competitive. Lastly, I would say even if you're granted an apprenticeship, do consider applying for university as well, as it's best to keep your options open as much as you can. I applied to university, obtained a place and deferred it later to them, explaining that I had an apprenticeship, so that if I found the apprenticeship problematic or didn't enjoy it, I could then start university the following year. Okay, so that's the end of the first video in this series. In the next video, I'll be looking at the pros and cons of degree apprenticeships, where to find them, and when to start looking.